Did you know that in the past year, a staggering 40% of all code was actually written by an AI model? As a programmer myself, when I read that, that was a pretty staggering fact, and actually instilled a lot of fear in both me and the rest of the industry. With the rise in these AI tools like Copilot, Codeium, and even Cursor, they're actually becoming cheaper, easier to use, and more accessible. But before we go ahead and retrain, I don't think these tools are ever truly going to be able to steal our jobs. However, I do think that they are going to become a vital part of how we program in the future. They are an incredibly powerful tool that allows us to stay in our flow state for longer, creating better code faster. So in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at one of those many agents. This one is Codeium and their brand new IDE, Windsurf. We're going to be discussing how I use it in my daily life and how I genuinely don't think I could ever work without it. Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is Bite Size Clue. So Windsurf is a brand new IDE from the company Codeium. It's one of the many new waves of IDEs that have AI built directly in. It's built off of VS Code, so it's going to feel very familiar to you. You'll feel at home and all of your extensions and settings should be able to copy across with ease. When you're using it, it's not going to feel much different, other than this brand new tool on the right hand side that they call Cascade. Cascade is where you're going to go to use the new large language model and AI agent style tools. There are three main ways that you can use the AI, and we'll talk about them here. The first one is the chat function. As it sounds, this allows you to chat directly with your codebase, finding answers to questions based upon what you need. For example, if you're in a pretty big codebase and you need to find a particular function or understand how a function works, you can simply tag that function with the @ symbol and then finding the exact file or even line in the code that you want explained, and it can do so. This is incredibly powerful and has actually meant that when I've gone into new programs that I've never really worked in before, I've been able to get up and running quickly by quickly understanding the code base without having to pester whoever built the thing. Switching away from the chat function, you've also got the code function. This is where things get powerful. You can simply ask it in pseudocode to write functions for you or whole applications. Seriously, this is so powerful. I was able to get it to write a whole website for me in around 7 or 8 prompts or an hour's worth of work. What makes this one different from all the other tools on the market like Copilot is its ability to be able to actually write the files for you and even run terminal commands. So if you're starting a brand new project from scratch, for example, let's say you're wanting to use Next.js in your project, you can ask Codeium to create you a brand new Next.js project, and it will ensure that it has all the dependencies it needs, and then use the terminal to create this project. If it is missing any of its dependencies, it will go ahead and find them for you and install them. This is actually where the majority of my time has been saved when using Codeium. I know it can be a right pain to set up these environments, and it can be a pretty long process too, sometimes taking 20 to 30 minutes at a time, especially on a new machine. Whereas Codeium can do it in just a few clicks. It is so powerful, and I absolutely adore using its tools, especially for this use case. One of the other super interesting ways that you can use it is just through programming. I could write some variable names and start to write a function name, and you can see how it automatically inline creates the rest of that function for me. This takes out a lot of the mundaneness out of my everyday tasks. It allows me to get these smaller and easier bits of the programming done quicker, allowing me to spend more time on the more essential tasks that I actually need to do. But let's not beat around the bush. It's AI, it's not perfect, and you are going to have to spend a lot of time either hand-holding it or spending time fixing the code that it thinks is correct. It's a little bit like having an AI-based pair programmer, but you're not having to waste someone else's time. What makes Codeium even more powerful is its pricing. They actually have a free tier, which allows you to get the majority of the tools that you'll need, But you can also pay for it, and it's pretty cheap at around $10 a month. For that price, you get full unlimited access to 3 pretty big models, both GPT-4o, Claude 3.5, and Codeiums' own large language model. Each one of these models is going to be better at certain tasks than others, so you are going to have to spend a little bit of time flitting between the 3 to work out which one's going to be best in your current context. We all know how expensive Claude can be, so for just $10 a month, I genuinely don't know how they're managing to keep it that cheap. Seriously, I was blown away by its value for money because you're getting 3 very, very capable models for a very, very low price. So there we have it, guys. That was a really quick overview, and I mean quick overview, of Windsurf by Codeium and exactly what it can do and why I don't think right now it's ever going to be able to take over what we do as programmers. Why don't you let me know what you think of Codeium in the comments section down below, and of course while you're down there, why don't you get subscribed as well, because it genuinely does mean the world to me. Anyway guys, my name's been Robert, this has been Bite Size Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.